Okay, so I forgot to talk about the panel lines and the details on the kit. Overall, I think it's a really detailed model. However, you do not get as many panel lines as you do on the Force Impulse Gundam or the Destiny Gundam. But still, I think it's a nice and simple design and it matches with the anime counterpart really well. But I did fill in all the panel lines using a black Gundam marker, a fine point Gundam marker. And you can see some of the panel lining I did here on the cannons. All the black you can see pretty much has been panel lined. And yeah, if you like panel lining, this is one kit you should definitely get. I didn't do the panel lines on the wings, even though they do have some detail on each wing. I find it harder to panel line painted parts, so I thought the wings looked good as they were. But the white I did, and you can also see these two really ugly seam lines on the cannons, which I didn't bother filling, mainly because I leave the cannons in the back unexposed. And yeah, you also get panel lines here on the hand, or not the hand, the arm I mean, over there, on the shoulder. And a really simple design for the legs. I left the armor not completely clicked in because it looks kind of like a panel line that way. And oh yeah, the cannons, you can see all the black on the cannons. I like the detail on the cannon. I panel lined that as well. And of course the head. I used gray for the head. My panel lining isn't super clean, but I think I did an okay job. And the back skirt there. And I also forgot to mention on the reverse side of the back skirt, that's going to be all white when you get it. I painted it the same flat gray as I showed you guys, the tester's flat gray. And yeah, so we'll talk about articulation now. Okay, so we'll go over articulation now, starting with how to attach the weapons. Here's the beam rifle, and basically, like I said, there's no pegs, so it wobbles a bit when you put it on. But it's more secure than the Ale Strike Gundam's beam rifle. And as you can see, it wobbles a bit when you move it, but it stays on pretty nicely if you don't. So yeah, you can pretty much get any pose you want as long as you don't move it too much. It should stay on good. And oh yeah, it also has that peg on the right side, so that peg just goes into this slot on the back skirt. It's a polycap joint, and it just sticks in there, and it fits on, and fits on pretty securely. And if you want the cannons out while the beam rifle's on, you can't really do that since it conflicts with this piece here. You can somewhat do it, but not all the way. So yeah, take that off and I'll show you the shield. So the shield has this peg here which goes on the arm, like you see there. Just plugs in, and it kind of hits the shoulder a lot, I find. So getting that pose you want might not be so simple. But it also comes with this handle right here, and you can have them holding the handle without the peg if you want, or there's many combinations. But this handle thing right here, it can come off and it can plug into any one of these levels right here. It doesn't slide like I think it was the Force Impulse Gundam that slides, or I can't remember, but I've seen the sliding handle on the kit before, and this one does not. So, and if you don't want to use it, you can just, it has a peg on the opposite side, and you can just plug it in like that. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Oh, and it, like I mentioned before, it has this piece right here, and you can pretty much get a pose where he's firing his beam rifle to this hole while protecting himself with the shield if you want. You can do that. and it comes with 2 of these beam sabers, and 2 of the clear pink, clear red beams, and they just plug in like that. And what you can do is on the back of each beam saber, you can combine them like that. They just clip onto each other like that. You can hear a clicking noise, pretty secure. And put the second beam in, and you have the double beam saber. Yeah, I had them originally posed with this, but once I got the red frame, I used the katanas. So moving on, we'll talk about articulation on the actual mobile suit. So the head goes forwards and backwards, and it rotates 360 degrees. Gotta be careful though. And it's on a ball joint, so you get all the ball joint movement, rotation, that kind of stuff. Pretty good. And next, the cockpit slides open from the top here, and you can see Kiriyamato in there. And you get the shoulder moves in and out, like you see there. This piece for the shoulder goes up and down, and arm rotates 360 degrees at this joint. A little tight, but not too tight. And it bends 180 degrees, or close to 180 degrees, as you see there. And the hand is on a ball joint, but you don't get a second joint for the wrist, so it can't move like the I think it was the Destinies and the Strike Norse. Anyways, that's it for the arms. Moving on, let's talk about this right here. Actually, first talk about the torso. Torso, it's unfortunate that it does not spin too much. I wish it could spin more, but it's restricted by the side skirt armor. And I have the right side skirt armor removed, so right now it can move pretty good on the side, but yeah, it doesn't move that good. It doesn't spin that well. And it goes up and down somewhat, and sideways a bit, just a bit. And you also get this little peg on the back skirt. You might be able to see it right there. And what that basically does is, well, when you're bending the torso back and forth, like you see there, sometimes if it's too back heavy due to the backpack, which is quite frequently, it's going to fall over a lot. So what you do is you slide the back skirt in, and that essentially just locks the torso in place. It can still move back a little bit, but it's not weird looking. It doesn't look like that, you know, like he's leaning back. So that's a pretty interesting idea, and it works pretty well. And the front skirts go up pretty high, and they go in and out pretty good too. And the back skirt, like I said, it goes inwards. That's it. That's all you get. And talking about the side skirts, which are also rail cannons, well, when the side skirts are attached, they can go in and out like that, and they can go back and forth. Quite a bit. So the side skirt itself folds out to become a cannon. So what you want to do, this joint is really weak right here, this joint. It is actually broken on my other side skirt. So you want to be extremely careful when building this and folding it out. But it folds out like that. And you just raised it like that and raise the back piece like that. And that's what you get. And I'll show you right here how it looks like. This is actually broken. One of them is broken. It's barely staying in there. I don't know how it's staying in there, but I know it's broken. And yeah, that's what you get. And the problem is that it does not like to stay in this position. Over time it's gonna fall like that, at least for me. And mine's also painted, so if you don't have it painted, it's probably gonna be even worse. So that's unfortunate too, but I don't have the cannons out in the way I had it posed, so not worried about that. But if you do plan on doing that, you might want to secure it somehow.